Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well, enjoying your Friday. Man, it is Friday. It has been a crazy week on my end, but it's been wonderful. It's been amazing. I'm happy to be with you guys this morning. Wasn't expecting to be on this morning, but some plans have changed, so I'm able to jump on with you guys right now. I hope you guys are all doing well, and if you haven't been around for a minute, it has been a little bit a sporadic wave of shows this week. Man, your boy is busy. Long story short, your boy is busy for very, very, very important reasons. Very important reasons, okay? But and it'll all make sense in the very near future. But for right now, I can't say much right now, okay? I can't say much about this, what I'm doing right now. But like I said, in the end, it'll all make sense. I promise you that, okay? But we got to get into it. We got some things to talk about. And there's some things that aren't in the title down below that we need to talk about. So we are going to get into a few things before we get into the main topic or in our headlining story today, okay? But like I said, it's been a busy day. It's been a busy week, and the saga must continue, okay? But I saw this particular article, this particular story kind of out here rolling around, and I felt compelled, all right? I felt compelled to talk about this, and I'll explain when we get to the main event, to the main focus. But, of course, before we get things going, all right? Before we get into everything, all right, please do me a favor. So I'm reading your comments already. I know you guys are already coming hot out the gate, hot out the kitchen with your opinions about this. And trust me, I will be opening up the video chat lines because I want to hear people's opinions and all this. Today is a little bit different of a show and something I haven't done in a while. So we are going to be doing some discussions here, okay? So sorry. Let me get back to what I was saying. Before we get going, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. Send all the positivity that you can as you start to file in. Good morning to all of you that are starting to walk in. If you haven't gotten your cup of joe, please do so right now. And cheers to everybody who does have their cup of coffee. And let's take a sip real quick. Oh, it's so good. So damn good. And also do me a favor. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Destroy it. Nuke it. Make it call out your name. Hit it so hard that it shakes the very foundation of your private domicile. Okay? That'd be really, really appreciated. Okay? But anyway, there are some things that we got to get into because there are a lot of things that are going on right now that has been breaking as of the past few hours. So I wanted to pull this up because I didn't have a chance to really pull this up as of yet. So I wanted to grab this really quick. Yeah, so this is something that's very interesting. There was a bridge that collapsed just hours ago. And this is hours before Biden is supposed to be out there. President Biden is supposed to be making an appearance in Pittsburgh. And apparently this bridge just collapsed, injuring and killing some people as well. And I wanted to pull this up before, and I know this is a little bit of a left turn, but I wanted to show you guys this because this is obviously very important, and this is really going on right now. So let me pull this up. And then, of course, like I said, we will be getting into our main event, our main conversation. But yeah, there's a few articles and a few stories I wanted to talk to you guys about right quick. But yes, there is a full-on bridge that collapsed in Pittsburgh. So let's take a listen.
We want to go back out to Bryant Reed. I know that he is speaking with some neighbors in the area. And Bryant, you're hearing a little bit more about what they heard and saw this morning.
Yeah, Heather, I have Miss Wendy Stroh here with me. She says that she lives in the area. And Miss Wendy, I just want to ask you, you say that you heard everything. What was that like? What did it sound like?
It sounded like a huge snowplow, pushing along a raw tarmac surface with no snow. So I went to the window to look for this big snowplow. My inner child wanted to see the excitement, and I couldn't see anything. I just kept hearing this loud noise persistently coming from the front corner of my apartment.
Did you have any idea of what it was at the time compared to when you started seeing first responders?
No, it's, as I say, it sounded like a huge snowplow. And then I wondered if perhaps it was a fire company spraying water heavily or something like that. But yet I could see no flames down the street. I could see no trucks, no smoke. I didn't know what it was.
So how did you find out what happened?
I scoured the internet looking for South Braddock Avenue closure today.
She's very articulate. I'm just going to say that really quick. I was scouring the internet, just like a excited little girl, curious little kid. I just wanted to see this big plow scraping along some asphalt. And this is what it looks like right now. That's
Any
crazy.
Reaction to the scene today?
It's very frightening. Oh my goodness, all these ambulances and fire trucks and whatnot. Just the thought of the bridge collapsing is a very scary prospect. I cross that bridge all the time.
And just describe that sound that it made again.
But it wasn't one noise, it was persistent. The police officer down the road, I did ask him, and he said that was the sound of the gas leaking out.
I mean, just hearing that explanation, what's going through your mind right now?
I'm wondering if any of our neighbors are perhaps going to be without gas, although the natural gas men down here tell me everybody's still hooked up, which is unfortunate in this cold weather. I'm very grateful for that.
What was your reaction to getting out here and surveying the scene and seeing all this?
It's overwhelming. I don't know what to think. We don't normally get this sort of excitement in this neighborhood. The infrastructure in Pittsburgh is known to be poor with bridges. Happens to be happening at the same time President Biden is arriving today to talk about infrastructure, which is an amazing coincidence.
Ting.
When was the last time that you traveled that bridge, whether it was driving or walking?
Probably a few days ago. I can't say I travel it daily, but within the last week for sure. I go to Squirrel Hill and back frequently.
And again, what is it just being here at the scene? What's going through your mind right now?
I'm being overwhelmed by reporters.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bridge that collapsed literally. I'm trying to see if I can get
if you want to eat
anything else from this right quick before we go into our into another story. But yeah, there is literally hold on, let me see what I can do here. Because that's just a woman giving her account, obviously. But the fact that this bridge just broke down like that's just really insane and terrifying. Because as you could see, there were people were driving on that bridge. Let me see here. Let's see here real quick. So 10 people have been injured in snow-covered bridge that collapsed in Pittsburgh. And then, of course, there's this thing from some officials came up and started talking and saying, I guess they're briefing everybody on what happened. So let's take a look at this real quick.
Thank you.
But this is breaking news.
Good morning. Just want to give you an update on what happened. The bridge collapsed, bus went over. So far, I think we have 3 that were injured. Chief Jones will be coming up to give you an analysis of exactly what happened. But right now, there's no fatalities. We do have a collapsed bridge that we're dealing with, and we'll be dealing with it throughout the day to make sure that everybody is secure. There was a gas leak. The gas has been turned off. It's not hazardous to the people. That's what I was told so far. So right now, we're still assessing the situation, getting information. But the good thing at this point is there's no fatalities. And we're going to pray that there is no fatalities and that they're doing what they need to do. I want to thank the city of Pittsburgh, our EMS, our firefighters, our police, the county for their assistance, in the state for all coming together. You know, we were fortunate. A bus went over. And right now we don't have no fatalities. We got 3 hurt. They've been looked at, and I think 10 have been seen, and they're okay. So we're just going to continue to hope for the best and make sure that we get this together. County exec.
Yeah, just to echo what the mayor said, and I want to thank Senator Costa and Councilman O'Connor and Lieutenant Governor Fetterman for being here as well. The outpouring of support to help with this has been tremendous, as the mayor said. The city paramedics and fire and police being here, county, state, got a call from the governor. We got a call from the White House. Everyone's reaching out to help. As the mayor said, thankfully, at this point, the preliminary reports are minor injuries, or injuries that are non-life threatening, might be a better way to say that. And to think about what a major artery this bridge is for so many people coming, from the East End, from the eastern suburbs, coming on in through Squirrel Hill and on into Oakland and town. This is a major artery. A lot of work's going to need to be done. And again, thankfully, and our People's Gas crew that was out here getting the gas shut off, I'm sure people that were out here could smell that gas early on, and the danger that could require. But we're going to be still reaching out. People are going to need a lot of help with utilities. We just don't know what's going to be there as well. But we're going to be here to make sure that we support the folks in this community to make sure this can be done expeditiously and move forward.
I think that's enough. But you can see the bridge collapsed. Looks like there's no fatalities. 10 people, in a report that I just kind of quickly read, said there's 10 people that were injured. So the mayor may not be fully, fully vetted before he walked up as far as how many people were actually injured. But there are no fatalities so far. Only 10 people have been injured. But from my understanding, it's just minor injuries. So that's always good news. That's also always great news, in my personal opinion. And of course, as this thing develops, we'll see what they say. We'll see what more information they come out with revolving around this bridge collapse. But that's so strange that out of nowhere, driving, mind your own business, a bridge just gives out from underneath you. That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. So I'm very thankful that everyone's okay. That's the most important part. Yes, people still need to get back and forth from work to home, or God knows what. He said it was a major artery, so hopefully they'll be able to figure out another route or another way of getting back and forth from in and out of that town. But yeah, it's all really bad, and it's just interesting timing, in regards to President Biden's supposed to be coming through, and this thing kind of happens right before he shows up. So yeah, so far everyone is okay. Few people are sick, or a few people are hurt, but that's about it. So so I just wanted to break that story to you guys, because that's breaking right now as we speak. People are talking about this, obviously. And when the more news develops, I will, if it's live during this show or later on, of course, I'll be talking about it. Most definitely, I'll be talking about it. But we got to get into some stories, y'all. And this one, okay, I've talked about it a million times. Just the fact that this thing, not this particular story, but the fact that there are a lot of stories like this that only are spoken on certain platforms, if that makes any sense. I've been seeing a lot of conservative commentators, a lot of right-wing commentators talk about this particular topic. Now, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, because I am not right-leaning at all. I am more liberal more left-leaning than you can even imagine. But I wouldn't say I'm extreme, but I am left. Okay. One thing I thought was interesting is that no one on the left is really talking about this story, and I'm wondering why. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's the be all and end all and it's so important and all that stuff. No, or it's only important for the right to talk about it and not the left. No, this is a full story for everyone to talk about. I think we all need to talk about this because I think that this story is very interesting. And I'm just going to say that. I don't want to put in my 2 cents yet. I just find this story to be extremely interesting. And I would say I'm quite vexed on this one because of all the information that we are receiving about this gentleman. Now, what I'm talking about is this man by the name of DJ Ferguson. I do have a photo of him real quick. And obviously, we're going to be seeing him in a video too. But there's this gentleman by the name of DJ Ferguson or David Ferguson Jr., right? And this is what he looks like. That's him in the hospital bed and all that. And what's interesting about this particular story is that this man is on the donor list for a heart transplant. But because he's not fully up to date, and you already know what I'm talking about because we can't use certain words, but because he's not fully up to date, he's been knocked off of the donor list. Now, there's some people out here that might think some type of way. Some people might feel some type of way on both sides of the spectrum, right? But like I said, there's information in this story that you need to gather before you just shoot from the hip being like, "Murr," you know what I'm saying? Before you go, "Should have done it," or "No, anti or pro." Before that, sit on, just ride that fence. I know it's uncomfortable, it's poking up the butt-o and everything, but just ride the fence for 2 seconds and take a listen before you make your own decisions. And then, of course, like I said, we gonna sit down, we gonna open up the video chat lines, and we gonna discuss this ish. But I found it interesting that everybody on the right, I've been seeing a lot more right-wing media, commentators mainly, talking about this, and they're spinning it in their own narrative. They're spinning it and they're weaving it into the narrative to make it sound good, right? To keep pushing an agenda. But I'm going, wait a second. Let's look at the whole thing before we just jump the gun and lean towards what we would personally lean towards if we were going to take this into a political, into a political realm. Okay. With that being said, let's get into this story, okay? Now, like I said, there's certain things I can and cannot say, all right? So, unfortunately, I have to censor certain words I got to say, which is kind of ridiculous, but this is how it is. These are the breaks, okay? And LaTanya, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. So here's the article. This is from the Boston Globe. It says, father of not up-to-date man denied heart transplant, says son has received heart pump. So there has been new information. This is as of, I think this was last night. Yeah, this was last night. All right. So this is a little bit more up to date because I wanted to give you guys something that's a little bit more current. All right. The family of a Massachusetts man who claims, let me get this a little bit bigger so you guys can see that too, who claims he's been denied a heart transplant because he's not up to date against the 19, is speaking out this week, saying they are devastated over a hospital policy that says he isn't eligible to have the procedure. David Ferguson Jr., also known as DJ, had been receiving treatment at hospitals around Boston since late November after suffering complications of a deteriorating of a bad heart. Okay, according to a fundraising appeal set up by his mother, Tracy Ferguson. The 31-year-old, he's only 31 years old. All right, so he's still a young man. Was told by Brigham and women's hospital officials that he was ineligible for the transplant, according to the fundraising post, because he's not been up to date against this bug. The Ferguson family have been active online and in media about DJ's story. My son has gone to the edge of death to stick to his guns, and he's been pushed to the limit. This is what his father said, David Sr. He told WBZ earlier this week. All right. The family also appeared on Tucker Carlson. Now, here's the thing. We already know about Tucker Carl. Okay. We already know about Tucky Tuck. Like I said, there's a narrative that already leans towards that. Right? You already know where I'm going. You already know where I'm going with this. Okay. But I find it interesting. This is the narrative that's being put out here. Okay. Now, and Rosewood, I will get to that in a second. It'll all make sense very soon. Okay. She just asked, is he refusing? I'm going to get to it. I promise you that. Okay. So he was on. They were on Tucker Carlson on Wednesday, where they condemned the care Ferguson was receiving, but expressed frustration over the transplant policy. It sucks because his nurses have been amazing to him. His doctors have been amazing to him. This is what this is what DJ's partner told Tucker Carlson. So the hospital has denied to comment on Ferguson's case, citing patient privacy laws, but the policy posted on his website states our Mass General Brigham healthcare system receives several CDC recommended pokes, including the 19 poke, and lifestyle behaviors for transplant candidates to create both the best chance for a successful operation and to optimize the patient's survival over transplantation, given that their immune system is drastically suppressed. Patients are not active on the wait list without this. Now, this is in the guidelines, and this is in their policy. Okay. Research shows that transplant recipients are at a much higher risk of dying from 19 when compared to non-transplant patients, apparently from what their policy states. The guidance is in line with that of American Society of Transplantation, American Society of Transplant Surgeons, and International Society for Heart and Lung Transplantation. Like most of other transplant programs across the country, the 19 poke is one of several pokes and lifestyle behaviors that are required for patients awaiting solid organ transplant, the policy states. There are currently more than 100,000 candidates on wait lists for organ transplantation, and there's a shortage of organs available. Around half of the people on waiting lists will not receive an organ within 5 years, the hospital policy says. In a Facebook post linking to another fundraising campaign on GoFundMe, Dawson, the girlfriend, noted where her family stands on the poke. Is my family vaccinated? Shoot. No. But no. Do I need to explain why? No. Do we care if you're up to date? No, Dawson wrote. Is DJ in a position where he now needs a poke to get a life-saving procedure? Yes. Is he going to choose to die instead of getting it? No. In an interview with the Associated Press, Tracy Ferguson said her son isn't against the poke, but he has concerns about said poke because of his heart condition. That would make sense, right? Just a little bit. I can see that concern. DJ is an informed patient. He wants to be assured by his doctors that his condition would not be worse or fatal with the poke. According to ABC News and the GoFundMe post, DJ underwent open heart surgery on Tuesday where a pump was inserted that will mechanically pump his heart until a donor heart becomes available. So in the interview with Carson, the father said his surgery took 7 hours. So now my son has a pump and he is in recovery. So this is what we have right now. This man is still not on the list anymore because he has not gotten said poke. Okay? So this is very interesting to me. This whole thing is very, very interesting to me. All right? Now, this is what they say too. The Fergusons told the ABC News that the pump promises to keep DJ alive for as long as 5 years. So it keeps him, he holds out. All right? If he holds out, hopefully he'll be put back on the list. But right now he's not on the list because he's not up to date. You see what I'm saying? So I got a news clip. I want to show you guys this. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit better at explaining everything. And let's take a listen.
Tonight, Tracy Ferguson speaking out because her 31-year-old son, DJ, can't. He's waiting on a heart transplant, but is being denied because he won't get the COVID vaccine.
My son's in the hospital, and he needs a heart transplant.
She says DJ has been fighting for his life at Brigham and Women's Hospital, but she says he's been told he's not eligible due to hospital policy.
I couldn't believe it. And then he said to the doctor, "So you're going to let me die?"
She says her son is concerned about the side effects of the vaccine.
He's not an anti-vaxxer or whatever they call it, but, he's compromised. The Mayo Clinic listed on their website the myocarditis, pericarditis, and blood clots.
In a statement, Brigham and Women's Hospital saying, like many other transplant programs in the United States, the COVID-19 vaccine is one of several vaccines and lifestyle behaviors required for transplant candidates in the Mass General Brigham system in order to create both the best chance for a successful operation and also the patient's survival after transplantation. Dr. Arthur Kaplan, the head of medical ethics at NYU Grossman School of Medicine, says this is a common type of requirement for a transplant.
Before COVID, if you hadn't had all your shots, they wouldn't do the operation on you. They'd make you wait. They're trying to make the expensive procedure with a lot of rehab involved successful. This isn't some new issue about, oh my goodness, he won't vaccinate. We're going to discriminate against him.
And when it comes to the family's concerns about side effects,
whatever the risks associated with the shot, they're lower than COVID. So what you want to do is prevent COVID.
DJ isn't the only one denied a transplant because of his decision not to get vaccinated. In October, a Colorado woman was denied a kidney transplant because she refused to get the shot for religious reasons. And another man who was waiting for a transplant told his surgery was on hold because of his donor.
A new policy at the Cleveland Clinic now requires both organ recipients and donors to be COVID vaccinated. Sue is not.
Medical, religious, and also freedom.
Ferguson, a father of two with another child on the way, remains in the hospital. His mother says he was in the OR for a separate surgery as we were speaking to her.
If his life is on the line, do you think he might change his mind about the vaccine knowing that?
He might. He could wake up after his surgery today and say, all right, I'm willing to take my risk.
Do you hope he does?
I would want the doctors to treat the patient, not the policy.
All right, Dasha joins us now live here on Top Story.
Okay. So you heard that, right? And obviously I'm not anti at all. I'm not. I'm just not that guy. Okay. I do, of course, like any other person that was, that went and got up to date and all that stuff. I had concerns. And the second poke sucked. Oh, it sucked. And I have a good heart. Last I checked, right? I'm a healthy individual. I don't have any ailments or anything of that sort. Okay. So like I said, I'm not here trying to knock anybody or say anything bad like that. to each their own on what you want to do, right? If you want to get it, or if you don't want to get it, that is up to you. Or at least I feel it should be up to you. Okay. But when this comes up, this is very interesting. This particular situation. Excuse me. With this particular situation, very, very interesting in my personal opinion. Because given the fact that this is a guy who has a weak heart, there have been a lot of concerns, understandably, because you hear things from the grapevine. Maybe there's some rumors. Maybe there's actual physical facts of issues after you take said stuff, right? And you already have a weak heart. And you hear that there's these things that are bad, that could hurt your already weak heart. Obviously, there would be a little bit of concern to do so, right? To get it, right? And you're going, well, maybe I'll get it after I get, let me get it after I get the heart transplant. Let me get a healthy heart in my body first before I do said thing. That makes sense, right? Instead of risking it all, right? But it's very interesting because there are committees, there are people that get together and make decisions on whether or not this person is going to get the heart or that person is going to get the heart. There's lists, literally. There's a list of people, right? And it's like, okay, he's right here. We have a heart just happened. He's right here, or she is right here. It'll be up to 3 people, and they'll go, okay, well, this person's 31 years old, was a person who took care of his body, so on and so forth. We got another person who has a history of drug use and drug abuse and blah, blah, blah. Then you got another person who's got this, and this. You see what I'm saying? Like, and they will make a decision out of those 3 and go, let's give it to the 31-year-old. They will. They'll do that. And then the other 2 just have to sit back and wait. Sit back and chill. There's a reason why I brought this story up, because the thing is I find this one to be a very interesting one. I've heard a lot of different people say a lot of different things, varying things. Some people just say, just get it, man, and then just go and get the surgery, bro. And other people are like, no, he should be able to get it regardless if he had said poke or not, whether he is or not up to date, right? So this is the reason why I'm bringing up this story, because it is, in my personal opinion, very compelling. Very, very compelling. But it is frustrating also that there are people out here that will play God. You can get it, you can't. He lives, she dies, right? If she dies, she dies, right? It's very interesting, but let's continue the rest of this. Let's finish this off.
All right, Dasha joins us now live here on Top Story. Dasha, we know DJ is not alone. There are a lot of people who are unvaccinated who are waiting possibly for an organ. This is not something that's happening just in a vacuum. But I have to ask you, do these patients have any other options, or this is it? It's get the vaccine to get the organ.
Right now, Tom, those are DJ's options. There is the possibility, if he is strong enough to move to a different hospital, that they could try that option. But Tom, the experts I've been talking to say at this point, a lot of hospitals across the country have similar policies. So we are going to be hearing more of these stories. And Tom, the reality is that these types of organs are so scarce. People die every day waiting for them. And doctors have to make tough decisions about patient priority all the time. There's also, Tom, a much more controversial debate going on as well about whether unvaccinated patients should be placed in the back of the line for other types of health care like ICU care. And it's a growing debate as hospitals are overwhelmed and some have already had to resort to rationing care, Tom.
Did you hear that? So they're even contemplating the idea of pushing people who are up to date in front of the line and the people who are not up to date in the back of the line, even in the ICU. I think that's a little crazy, don't you think? I mean, maybe I'm alone on this conversation, and I'm going to open up the video chat lines here in a second. But that seems a little insane to me, right? What isn't the Hippocratic Oath all about helping people no matter what, healing the sick no matter what. Isn't that what the oath is? Vowing to take care. Man, you know what? I need to look that ish up. Just saying. Hippocratic Oath. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah. It's like it's like a it's like I will carry out my my ability and judgment according to my ability and judgment. I'm trying to find it here. F it. But isn't that the whole purpose of it? Right? Isn't that the whole purpose of that Hippocratic Oath, is basically saying, like, I will first do no harm, that I will do everything I can to take care of people, right? Regardless of their background, regardless of who they are. I'm there to administer help, to heal the sick, not because, wait, does he or does he not? Is he or is he not? That's just me, though. That's just me, though. But like I said, do you feel that this is fair or no? That's the question I have for you guys. I'm going to be opening up the video chat lines here very, very shortly. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up so that if you guys have an opinion and you guys have some thoughts on this, please be sure to hit on this link, which I'm going to be throwing up here very shortly. Okay, so just a heads up, because I know some of you guys need a second to figure out how you're going to do it and all that. And another thing, you don't have to be on camera. You could just be on voice, okay, on audio. So just so you know, because I know some of y'all might be like, I didn't put my face on. Damn it, Pascal, my face ain't ready. It's like, yo, it's all good. Just hit the audio and you can talk. We don't have to see your face. It's all good. Okay? You don't have to bless us with your beauty. Okay? But I see, and I see some people already saying some things like a girl named James just said something here. You're highly susceptible to infection after an organ transplant. Absolutely. You're highly susceptible to getting sick as hell because your immune system, which we read in that article, where your immune system just drops like crazy, right? It just goes bad. I mean, your body needs to heal itself. It needs to rebuild. I mean, you got a whole new organ, a foreign object, right, in your body, and it's up to your body to accept said new organ in your body, right? And that takes time. And some people are not as lucky. Some people, it goes really well, then suddenly out of nowhere, they do a kidney transplant or something crazy like that. It goes well, the procedure goes well, and then suddenly out of nowhere, boom, they got problems. You see what I'm saying? Suddenly the body just rejects that particular organ, right? Because it's a foreign object. It's not your body part. It was somebody else's, right? So I do understand that piece. I understand that argument all day long. This is the reason why I'm saying, hey, today's a discussion day, because, we could talk about other things, or, break out a true crime story, or, talk about somebody who's missing and everything. And I do want to talk about those things, but I felt like this was an important piece and an important conversation that we need to have. UPSer Living the Dream has been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much for your support. She says, is this policy the same at every hospital or just this particular hospital? Is the policy the same when it comes to the flu vax? That's a very good question. They did say at the end of that video, the reporter was saying that he could be transferred to another hospital, and that hospital could make the decision of keeping him on the list or not. So that could change. Like each hospital is a little bit different. But yeah, in that particular hospital that he was in, those were their policies that they were sticking with, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I had another thing here. Boom. I wanted to say this. Infinite Content, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I couldn't pull it up when I was showing the video, but I would like to think that if he wants the heart transplant, he should have got the poke. This vid is known to cause cardiovascular issues, Pascal. That is very true as well. That is very true. That is very true. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and thank you so much for that information as well. So I'm going to open up the phone lines or the video chat lines now. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your voice on this particular story, on this particular thing. What are your thoughts on this? You know, are you with it or are you against it? Do you think this is fair or no? Because, you know, here's the other piece. While you guys are figuring this whole thing out and trying to make your decision whether you want to jump on and speak your mind or not, let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this. I know that there's a lot of concerns revolving around the thing, right? Now, I understand that there are a lot of people who are concerned about it. People are nervous about it. So when it comes to that, I don't know. Like I said, I'm quite vexed. I'm quite vexed. This vexes me like crazy because I'm back and forth. I'm back and forth. Is this fair or no? Hit that link above. Hit that link above, or you know what? I haven't done this in a while either, but I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. Hold on one second. It's been a minute since I've done this. Or you could give me a call, okay? Let's do it. 766-4581. It's been a long time since I said that number. Or you can give me a call. Love to hear your thoughts on this as well. It might get a little messy if you know, as far as people coming in the video chat and in the phone calls. So I'll be bouncing back and forth. But 314-766-4581. You can give me a call on that as well if you don't want to be on video chat. And if it's easier just to dial a phone number, there's the number as well. Because I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Is this fair or no? Remember, in the policy, they did say, and I repeat, you have to be fully up to date on all of your vaccinations. You have to have them all. So even if, let's just say, Rona did not exist at all, okay? Rona did not exist at all, and it was just a flu shot. He would still have to have the flu shot before he could go and get this procedure done, before he could even be on that list. Is this or is this not fair? Give me a call, or you can use the link pinned to the top. 314 is the number, 314-766-4581, or you can hit that link above and give me a call. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like I said, these are the policies. These are the breaks. This is what they saying. You feels me? So I do got somebody on here, Tyler. What up, Tyler?
Hi.
Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday. I gotta say, I'm kind of mixed on this too. I don't know. I mean, I'm fully vaccinated myself. I got the booster too. It feels like normally I'm pretty stuck on one side of things. I should say, like, just get the vaccine, do this. But I feel like when it comes to this, a bit more nuanced, a bit more on the side of like we'll have to really think about this.
So you're quite vexed.
Yes.
That's the word of the day for me. I'm vexed.
I am vexed.
I'm vexed. You know?
And the thing is, I'm young. I'm 19. I'm perfectly healthy, but I mean, I want to keep myself healthy, and the people around me, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So my friends, my family. So I just had to get the the poke. I don't think I wasn't sure if I could say the word,
Right. Appreciate
yeah.
It. Okay.
But,
okay. So then, okay. And I know that there's some people that just feel like, hey, the rules are the rules. Them are the breaks. The policies are policies. Like Infinite Content. Shout out to him again. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, of course, again. But he said, I'm not mixed on it. He refuses to get up to date. The hospital requires diseases acquires that diseases are a serious issue. Damn, I can't read today. To consider post recovery, and
that's
and
true.
I get true. All bloody day. I'm with that all day. But I do feel like there are people out here that feel like, wait a second, it should be his choice to be able to do said thing. Now, let me pull up LaMarcus. I got LaMarcus on here as well. LaMarcus Watkins, what's up, man? Hello? Okay, I guess we lost him. We got Mark S. in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes. Happy Friday, Mark. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right.
Good. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm speaking from a place of, having some family members in the hospital and stuff like that.
Please, come on.
Literally a couple of days ago, my brother had a heart attack. And we think it's because of COVID. And he's vaxxed. He got COVID before the vaccines came out. He's a healthy guy. He's only 37, right?
Yeah.
So, if he was on the list and we're sitting there, we're talking about a policy, there's people who are drug addicts that can't get on that list. So my thing is we have to get along and understand why we want everybody vaccinated. I mean, could you imagine if people want to walk around and say, hey, well, I don't want that polio vaccine. You know what polio does to a body? See, we've had it eradicated and we've sat there and we think of everything as one side versus the other side. I'm just saying this is humanity. This is taking care of yourself. You had a clear opportunity to take care of yourself. It's life or death. So, if it's life or death, you might as well take every chance to be able to preserve your life.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people will say that it's down the middle, but I'm tired of this being a debate. If you care about humanity, you care about your life, do what you need to do. I don't go out, smoking and drinking because I know it's bad. Right?
Right.
True.
And if I go and I abuse that and I go to heroin or something else, and then my heart's bad and I get on that list, they're going to ask me, that's part of the questions. Hey, were you an illicit drug user? And you get bumped down that list as well. So, I mean, if there was nobody else on the list, I would say give the man the heart. But the facts is there's other people that are waiting as well that are willing to comply with the rules.
You ain't wrong, man. I mean, there's a lot of other people that will do everything they can, then some, to make sure, boom, you see what I'm saying? Let's do this. What I need to do? Oh, okay. Stand on one hand and juggle 6 balls in the air real quick. Okay, I'll do it. There's plenty of people that are doing everything to a T just so they can even stay in the top 10, even the top 5, even the top 3 on that list. So there's a lot that I see what you're saying. Hey, Mark, real quick, how's your family? Like, how's your brother doing right now? Is he doing okay?
My brother is in what they call a cool down after a heart attack. They put the people who've had a heart attack, they put them in this thing called like an arc light. And what it does is cools the body down to preserve the brain function after a heart attack. Because he had the heart attack. They did CPR. They took him to the hospital, and they have to make sure, because he never got consciousness after they revived him. So, hopefully later on today, the doctor's literally going to be telling me whether, how he's going to be, if he's going to be a vegetable or whatever's going on. So it's been a tough couple of days for my younger brother as well. So to be going through this, but we had some kind of good news yesterday. They tested his extremities, and he was responding to stimuli. So they did the test on like the knees and the other thing. So hopefully he'll be back up this weekend or later today, and I might be able to get a chance to see him.
Well, I mean, I'm praying for you and the whole family, even in the chat.
We're all praying for you.
Yeah, the whole family, the whole chat is even saying, just throwing as much love and positivity your way, and I hope he comes out stronger than ever before. So,
I appreciate
for
that.
Sure.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Thank you for taking the call, Pascal. I know I always kid you and rake you over the coals in the chat, but
story of my life.
You're a good guy, and I really do appreciate being on here with you. And Tyler is a wonderful young man. Always follow him on Twitter and have a good time. And everybody in the chat, just really sit there and think about it. We all ask everybody to do the rules. That's why we have the rules. If people just get to do whatever the hell they want, we're going to have the chaos, and we're having this. You see, the first thing that the Republicans or people on the right wing want to do is to make this an issue. Oh, see, that's it. My point is, you tell everybody else, when it's an immigration debate, they say, hey, come here the right way. Okay, so what's the right way? So whenever we set rules, there's some things we agree with, there's other things we don't, but the rules are the rules, and the rules are there, in place. I don't go out going buck wilding on people, because, I don't want to go to jail. That's the rules.
Word. You know what? You ain't wrong. I mean, what you're saying, that was a beautiful analogy, actually, with the immigration thing. Because it's like, hey, if you want to come in here, you got to make sure you do this, this, and this. You got to check all the boxes before you can even get in this mug. And it's the same thing when it comes to this transplant, right? That's a very good point right there. I do have a super chat I wanted to pull up because this woman's very, very special to me. Lady Justice, what's up, girl? Missed you. I haven't talked to you in a minute. I haven't heard from you in a minute. So I'm glad you're doing very, very well. And I'm glad you're on right now. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And she dropped some facts in here too. And it's echoing basically what you're saying, Mark. I support choice, but transplant drugs make one immune compromised and lower immunity is a major I don't know.
Comorbidity, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I've never heard of that word before in my life. But comorbidity with the vid organs, you want the best chance outcome, and this is a major risk not to be. And you know what? She's absolutely right. She's basically echoing comorbidity. That's the new one. But she always comes in with those SAT words.
And also,
but
one thing before I leave. Anyway,
you good?
Because of the issue with my brother, I'm trying to make sure that I'm making this a platform for myself whenever I get to talk in the chat room with anybody. If you've had COVID, please follow up visits. Make sure they check your heart, get an echocardiogram, make sure that your organs are sound, because they do not know, they're not telling us about, what this virus does to you once it gets into your body. You could have passed it on, been past it or been, cured from it. And it's still, we sit there and we talk about chicken pox. I had chicken pox when I was in elementary school, right? I'm 50 years old. So now there's this thing called shingles. So the virus is still living in your body. So they don't know about what's going on with COVID. They don't even explain that, hey, if they're saying about 1 million kids have gotten COVID, this Omicron variant, they said about 10% of those, the study says about 10% of those would have long-term COVID effects. So that's 100,000 kids. People, do not listen to Joe Rogan. This is not about being out here catching this virus and thinking these antibodies are going to, save you or whatever. It's about trying to stay away from this virus, trying to make sure you're vaxxed up. I mean, I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to say that on your channel. You get the poke, and take care of yourself. Because you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of humanity. And I think this is the most unselfish thing that you can do is to get out there, take the poke for the team, talk to your doctors first, do your reading. I mean, I read about what was my brother was going through, because that usually that helps me. On top of this, I've had a son that had leukemia, so I read the facts on leukemia as well. So I try to stay as well versed. I don't try to just, this guy's on YouTube, or this guy's over here on the show. Do your redo your reading.
Or some random dude who makes millions and hundreds of millions of dollars is on Spotify.
Right. For Tasha K.
Don't get me started, but I feel you.
Don't listen to the nonsense.
Exactly. I do agree with that. I do have LaMarcus
puts out.
I got LaMarcus Watkins in here, back in here. Hello, LaMarcus. Hello, LaMarcus. Try that one last time. All right, he gone. I don't know what happened, but there's a lot of that, right? Where we have a lot of people out here. I mean, the Tucker Carlsons and the Joe Rogans of the world that will go out here and say all this crazy stuff, or they'll just bring people on that say crazy things, and then they'll sit there and go, "This is scripture," and it's like, no, it's not.
Right? Like they bring crazy people on to to make all that crazy stuff being said seem legitimate somehow, which it's not.
Yeah.
Well, my point is they just do the echo chamber, because they never bring anybody on there to have the debate. If we're going to debate it, let's debate it, not talk about people who are just coming out with the weirdo, out of the part, theories and stuff like this. You're going to tell me one doctor out of hundreds of thousands of doctors thinks this way, that we don't have any clear things. We're not doctors. I leave that up to the doctors. Just like if my car breaks down, I leave that to the mechanics, and so on and so forth. I'm not going into the kitchen and tell the chef how to cook.
Facts, man, facts.
Yes,
that's hard facts. That is hard facts, and and
nothing but facts.
That's why, and the other part I think about is this, just to add on to a little bit more, because you said something about the selfishness of it and all that. This man got kids. They show photos of him with his kids.
Yeah, and he got a tough break too. 31 with a bad heart.
Oh, that's bad. But he's willing to go to the ends of the earth out of spite, and it turns into a national news story with this whole thing. And it's kind of like, wait a second, you look at your kids. If you don't do this one thing, so that you can possibly get a heart that possibly will work in your body, that is hopefully successful, so you can live the rest of your life.
You can stay alive.
To see your kids grow.
Exactly.
F all that. Your kids. What about your kids, man? And you're not even willing to do that? What the hell? So you're getting off a list, and unless you really do have a death wish. Like, real talk, unless your kids are a pain in the ass, I don't know, but maybe you didn't want to be a daddy.
I'll sum this up. Case in point with this. I told you, like I said, I've gone through this with my son having leukemia. Because he has leukemia and he had a bone marrow, I had to start taking these shots for the flu shots. I never took flu shots. I mean, I think I was 16 the last time I actually had the flu. So I'm just, nonchalant. But here I am, every flu season taking the flu shot because of the love of my son. And I want to make sure that I don't get him sick and I don't do anything to harm his health.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people should do. And I, you know, the problem, big problem is that we individualize a lot of things in this country. You know, politicians do it to us. We do it to ourselves. You know,
That's
it's like,
true.
okay, I'm a Pascal show fan, not a Benediction show fan, or or something stupid like this. We love to
Yes.
break ourselves into these different groups. And the number one thing is, if we're truly human beings in a country that's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, I think we should want to make sure we preserve some things and make sure that we give everybody else a chance to live and shine. It can't just be me all day. And I think the biggest problem is the people with the money. They're the ones that put this stuff out here, and you can literally see it go from show to show to show on the right wing, and then the next thing, the folks on the left wing, they have to counter what's going on the right wing, and then we are talking about nothing. This is the biggest problem I think that's going on in this nation. We sit there, we talk about unity only whenever it suits us to talk about unity. We should
When it's
want
convenient,
unity
right?
every day. We should want unity every day. We should have unity like we do in the chats. We should have unity like we do, in the various groups that we belong to, because that's what it's all about. I want to see Pascal win. I'm not jealous about, you having to show a platform or whatever. I want to see other people win. I don't want to tear nobody down. I think the other day when we were talking about the situation with Tasha K and Cardi B, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, number one, that's a HIPAA violation to be talking about somebody's other medical things in public. So I'm not going to go that route to do that. And if you're doing that just for clout, that's a real sorry way of trying to make money. But to each his own. But I think that there's better ways of trying to focus on making society come up instead of just bringing it down.
Facts. Now, hold on real quick before we continue. I got a super chat I want to pull up, and I also have somebody else I want to bring on too. So, Queen, hello, Queen.
Hello.
Real quick before you, I got a super chat I want to pull up. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. UPS are living the dream. Okay, thank you so much. According to the CDC, FDA, and the WHO, once you are poked, you are protected from C19. So why are C19 poked people worried about others who aren't C19 poked? Stop and think about that for a second. You know what? That's a very good point too, and that I'm be honest. On that note,
why
I
can answer that if you want.
Yeah, let me just do
Go
my
ahead,
commentary real quick. But and then I'll throw it to the panel. But one thing that I find it very annoying, for sure. Let me pull that back up one more time, so because I want to stay on point here. But yes, that is the one thing that I do find a little annoying, as well. That because it should make people feel like they are protected, right? It should make them know, okay, you got it, we're good. But then suddenly, it is interesting the side eyes that people will give people who aren't vaccinated. The looks that you get is frustrating and annoying. So I understand that piece. But I do also think that no matter what, we already know these things. If you do get up to date, or if you don't get up to date, you can still get sick. We already know this. We've seen this all day long. So to look at somebody that isn't up to date and you happen to be, I think it's just it's a waste of energy in my personal opinion. But Mark asked, what were you going to say? And I got to throw it over to Queen.
Okay, I'm sorry, Queen. But the main reason is because we're dealing with a virus. Viruses are human organisms that want to live, and they want to live in your body. So if people are unvaxxed, as you have seen, we've had 3 variants. This can go on forever.
We got another one. We already have another one called the Son of Omarion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Son of Omarion.
Right.
So here we go again, because
B2K already got a remix.
It's a two
remix on top of remix.
It's a two-pronged thing, because now you have folks not vaccinated, so now they are havens for this vaccine to get it. I mean, the virus to get in, mutate, push out another variant. That's what it is. So we should be pushing for the United States to open it up, pushing vaccines all over the world and not just the rich countries. That should be the number one. Number two, people should understand how long polio. I think the vaccine came out in the 40s. It wasn't eradicated until the 80s. Do you hear what I'm saying?
We still have people taking the flu shot every year. I get that there's different variants of the flu shot or the flu, every year, but we haven't been able to really get a handle on that. So we have people that die every year from just getting the flu, and they, still get the flu vaccine, or they don't, or vice versa. So, I think now time has proven that this is just, it looks like it's just going to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until, we can get everybody on the same page, which that's obviously the problem. When it comes to everything we talk about, gun control, this, that, everybody's gonna have a different opinion. That's just the way the world works. It's, there's not.
That's the narrative that they've created, right? That's the that they've created. They're like, oh,
exactly.
We got to separate everyone, not bring them together. So let's polarize this as much as possible. But even the person that created the vibe of polarization as of the past few years, is one of the people that said, I got up to date, so y'all should do it too. So it's just a very
even he said it,
so it's a very interesting,
and they're hating him for it.
And they're hating him for it. But it ain't going to change, because it ain't going to change nothing. I mean, they live by him and die by him. But at the same time, that's the narrative that the right has created for themselves. And then that's what I'm saying. And then, of course, there's the left that have their own side as well, which is like, just get up to date. The hell's wrong with y'all? You know what I mean? Do it. Just be done with it. But it's interesting that this is the world that we live in. And of course, it turns into, because this is the other funny thing too. Because there was a minute. I'll be honest. There was a minute I wasn't vaccinated. There was a minute I wasn't vaccinated.
Same.
I'll be honest.
And
I had questions.
I was telling I had questions. You heard it on the show. But what I would tell friends, like, because I wasn't hiding that ish. I was just like, no, I'm not up to date right now. I'm not vaxxed.
Right.
This look, like, the hell is wrong with you? Or they were instantly going, oh, so are you like some Trump MAGA hat wearing? I'm like, no. I got concerns and I'm waiting. I'm just sitting and chilling.
Exactly.
I'm just waiting for a second. But it's interesting how polarizing you saying, I got vaxxed. They're like, oh, okay, so you voted for Biden. You know what I'm saying? It's that quick.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Real silly.
Like, no nuance exists anywhere, apparently.
Right? And then if you ain't vaccinated, suddenly you're a conspiracy theorist.
I'm just gonna start telling people, I'm like, I didn't vote at all. Never mind.
Right?
No.
It's like,
exactly. Whatever.
I want to tell you a quick story about this. When I went to get the vaccine, I went to a hospital in that's downtown. That's in the inner city part of. I live in the suburbs, but the inner city of Los Angeles. So I was down there, and in my mind, I was like kind of nervous to get the shot, because I'm like, well, what if this is this Tuskegee stuff? I was like, whatever. And then I got in line, and I saw a bunch of white folks. I was like, yes. No, sorry, but I'm just saying. I just felt at ease to sit there and see a whole bunch of everybody in line to get the shot, and it's not like one of these old okey dokes that have gone down throughout the history of the United States. So
but it's so, isn't that crazy that, I mean, and there was that whole Tuskegee thing and all the theories that were being thrown around, the conspiracies and all that were getting thrown around and all that. And I was quite vexed. Like I said,
right.
On the show today is, the secret word of the show is vexed. But I was hella hesitant at first, finally I did it, but and like I said, it sucked, but I'm happier that I did it than not doing it. Right.
Well, I am now that I got it, because it, I have a twin sister and we live together, and she got it, and weeks go by and I'm like, why am I not getting it? Even and I'm like, I must be really nice and vaccinated because, I wasn't getting it. And then bam, like 2 weeks later, right after she got, and what are we supposed to do? Or isolate in our rooms, which we kind of had to. So, the whole time we're staying isolated from the world. Literally, we've been in our house for 2 years. It's like, come on,
Right.
At some point,
People are getting breathless.
Right?
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to just jump up and just do it. Now, one of the things for me is one of the main reasons that motivated me to actually just do it. It was not only just because of my family,
Right.
like my mom and all that.
Most important, right?
Who I love dearly, but on a job side of things too. If I'm
Exactly.
anywhere, where if I'm hosting or if I'm doing a keynote speaking event or any of those things, a lot of those places are requiring those things, or you got to go through a 3-day process of trying to find a place where you can actually get a test done and then prove that you are, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're not up to date, and then you got to show them that you ain't sick or you don't got the bug and all that. It's so much of a hassle going through all that. It's kind of like, well, you might as well just get the poke.
Right.
Just do it, get up to date, and just be done with it, because it's going to be a requirement everywhere eventually.
Well,
we're seeing countries starting to do this. Other countries are starting to do this.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I think the biggest problem is the bungling that this country has had, and I think that's really put more people off than anything. I'm not trying to be one of these folks that I'm trying to hate on Dr. Fauci or whatever, but I'm just saying you could see a lot of the decisions that the CDC have made. It's just been politically driven. When Trump was in charge, they had to say this. Now Biden's in charge, they're saying something else. And people are picking up on that, and that's part of the reason why people don't want to trust the virus. And, to my respect, I would, when Trump was in charge, I was like, man, I was kind of hesitant myself, because I'm like, what is this brother trying to do?
Right.
But you know what? You got to do what's best for you. You gotta sit there, and hopefully people understand that viruses and microbes, and with climate change, we're going to see more of this stuff. You guys better get ready, better understand that it's about scientific things. I'm seeing somebody in the chat room talking about this is a 99% survival rate. Well, I want to tell you this, maybe 99%, but they're not. One thing that the CDC isn't doing is they're not following up with people who've had the virus to see if there's any impact on people's organs, because these are things that are going on, and it's going to come up and bite us in the butt because we're focused on the wrong things. We're so much worried about people getting back to work instead of understanding this virus and making sure that people are taken care of. I think we're missing a lot of follow-up, and I think that's what's going on in this world right now.
And I appreciate you saying here. I do have some super chats I got to get to. I do have some other somebody else on here too.
Anyway, I could drop off. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You don't need to jump off, man. You good. Stay right there where you are, man. I need to go through these things because you know how it is. These are super chats really quick. So you're more than welcome to stay. There's no time limit on anybody right now. Okay. But I got another $10 super chat. I got another $10 super chat from UPS or Living the Dream. Thank you so much. The C-19 will mutate till the end of time because that's what this type of virus does. You can't control or eradicate C-19 or these present future variants. If we could, we wouldn't have colds or influenza. And you got a point. We got we got a crap ton of different types of flu variants. We got all kinds of different variants, and yeah, it is showing us without a shadow of a doubt that time that we might have to deal with this for the rest of our lives, right? For the rest of our natural lives. Maybe, the next generation to come will be able to eradicate this, but we're still learning about this. This is only a 2-year-old. Man, it's been 2 years. Damn. But
I can't believe that.
God,
right?
Years. But it's been, but the thing is it's still 2 years of a long journey of them trying to figure they ish out. I got another super chat really quick before I throw it back to the panel, because I would love to hear Realize TV's thoughts here real quick. But anyway, we got Chris Manson. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, because you aren't up to date against 1 out of 100 viruses, we will deny you a replacement heart that is 100 out of 100 need for you. You know what? You ain't wrong with that. That's why when I say in the very beginning, and I'm saying the key word, this is when I wish like my couch was, a puppet and could go crazy, because I'm about to say today's secret word. This is the reason why I am vexed about this situation, right? Because I do feel that this person, if he has that need for that particular heart, he shouldn't have to be, crossing the T's and dotting every single lowercase J. I think he should be able to have that access. But at the same time, if those are the rules and that is in the policy, and that is the policy, then why not just go and do it anyway? Because you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your family. You're doing it for your kids. You're doing it for your future. You see what I'm saying? So I see the Chris Manson. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Great point. Absolutely great point. But at the same time, there's guys out here. I won't point this out too. There are a lot of guys out here that will get knocked off because they had a history of drug use.
Absolutely.
The same thing too. So they are very picky because they want to make sure that doctor said in that news clip. He said it's a very expensive and very delicate procedure that we want to make sure that organ stays and works with that particular person. Now, if that person has some crazy drug abuse issue and all that stuff, it probably won't stay with them very long. So it's going to be very hard for them to choose somebody who isn't playing by the rules. And I hate to say it like that because I ain't trying to be like that, but you kind of have to if it's your heart and it's about your livelihood. Just do it and move on. But we got Realize in the house. Realize, what's up, man?
Hey man, peace to you, Pascal. I've been on the show before, so I respect you, man. Respect to everybody on the panel. I just come with a different perspective.
Come on with
and for me, right, the conversation that you guys are having on the topic, as far as my man's not being able to get what he needs because he's unvaccinated, right? Well, I have a story, right?
Come on with
my girlfriend's her best friend's grandfather, okay, he has cancer, okay, and he's being treated for cancer. Well, his doctor told him, if you get the vaccination, well, whatever, pinch poke, owe me a joke, whatever. If you get that, then we can no longer treat you for your cancer.
No.
So he was not, hold on, wait, see, you can't say no because I know a person personally, right? I'm saying personally. I know this man personally. I took him to the doctor, right? I take him to the doctor all the time. So what I'm saying is that this man cannot be treated if he gets that, right? They told him this personally, right? And so it's almost everything is mixed up. It's almost like they want to confuse us on purpose. This whole thing, it just seems like it's all confusion. It's the poke against the unpoke. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that people have their feelings, right? But one thing that we do know is that the CDC came out and told us that they've been lying to us for the last 2 years. It's not all over the news. It's not on no major platforms. It's not being put out there, but it's a fact that the CDC came out and said that this thing we've been lying to y'all basically. This thing is not going to prevent you from getting it. So what is the point? See, my thing is, yes, and you guys have spoken about it. Back in the days, you know what I'm saying, when they was, poking people on purpose just to see what would happen, right? They called it the Tuskegee experiment. I'm sorry, it was hard for me to get that out. But anyways, for real, yo. For me personally, if my body can beat something, why do I need something extra in my body? Okay, like I said, I'm not going against how you guys feel, or I'm not saying anything against you because you went and got it, right? But the thing about it is that our whole existence here in America is about my body, my choice. You know, even with the women, you know, when it comes to a child, even if the man wants that child, if that woman doesn't, it's her decision. So you gotta look at it from all aspects, right? Step outside of your own box and just understand that people are just people. Everybody ain't gonna agree. Everybody is not going to conform. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. So we need to understand that we all have to protect ourselves, right? We have to protect ourselves. Whatever way that you feel like you need to protect yourself, whether it's getting the poke, whether it's not getting the poke, you need to look inside yourself and protect yourself. Listen, this is America. We have the choice to do what we wish and what we feel is right for our own family. If I feel like I don't need to get the poke, that's cool. If I feel like I need to get the poke, that's cool. It shouldn't be nobody else's quote unquote. Exactly. See what I'm saying? So
like if I want a nose job, I'm gonna get me a nose job.
Right. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So it all goes to that, right? I didn't come up here, you know, I'm just saying, right? We all have been through so much crap, you know, that a lot of us we don't trust anything. Especially the system. We don't trust none of that. And if you are a melanated person in this world, not just America, in this world, you know that wherever you go, pretty much you're treated like crap. Okay? So I say that to say this. If you want to protect yourself from something or an entity that you feel like is against you, I'm okay with that. If you want to get it because you feel like, you know, I need to protect my family, I need to keep working, I'm okay with that too. What I'm not okay with is someone telling someone else what to do with their body, whether get it or not get it. We should not do that. That is not right, and it's not American.
I hear you on that 100%, 100%. But I will say this though.
That's not true.
When it comes to, let's just say, getting that job or getting into a college, getting into anything, or doing something that you need, that you want to do so that you can accomplish whatever, you know what I mean? To become a doctor, let's just use that for an example. To be a doctor, you have certain things that you have to do. There's certain requirements that you have to check off on boxes so that you could become said doctor, right? You got to go and take certain classes so you can do that. You can't just go and be a visual effects artist or something like that and then just get your PhD just because you want to. There's certain requirements in which you have to do so. So when it comes to, say, a committee, right, that has created a list of policies, that in these policies they're saying you need to have this, and this, you damn right you better have
that's facts. That's facts, Pascal.
Before you get into it. Now, here's the other thing. It is your body, your choice. You have the choice whether to get the poke or not, right? And I say that all day long. I will never come up to people and put the gun to their head and say, do it. No, you are right. It is your body, your choice. But here's the thing. That same person who's saying my body, my choice, and he's eating donuts and smoking
his body, his choice. His body, his choice.
It's his body, his choice. But then
or her. I'm sorry, ladies.
But then you're suffering the side effects of doing said thing. If you know that the criteria is to work out and eat healthy so that you have a longer life, so on and so forth, you would do so. You wouldn't be like, oh, why do I have all these cancers and all these issues and diabetes and whatnot? It's like, okay, yeah, it's because it was your body and you made those choices. So now when it comes to
these are the consequences.
This situation with this gentleman right here, he knows what the criteria is so that he can have a longer life. And yet he is deciding not to do so because of his body, his choice. But these are
which is okay. What's wrong with that?
Fine. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, then don't make it national news. Then.
Right. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't make a big deal out of it because you chose to do it. Yep. I totally agree, Pascal. I totally agree.
That is choice. So it's like, wait a second, don't get mad, don't get upset if that thing was, if that's what goes down.
That's a fact. That's just like me saying I want to work, right? And I want to work for this certain company, but I gotta get it, right? But no, you're discriminating against me because no. That is a policy, right? Okay, that's their policy, right? So if you don't want to follow their policy and you just want to follow law, then yes, you don't have to. But if you want to get that job, if you want to continue to work there, then you have to follow policy because that's their policy. And look, like I said, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with having things in place, but at the same time, if you want to say I don't want to do it and I'm gonna leave this job, or I'm not gonna apply for this job because that's their requirements, then I wouldn't be angry at you. I wouldn't call you a bum or say that you don't want to work. I understand that you won't do this to your body because a person says you got to do it to work here. I get all of it. See, that's the thing about me. I step outside myself and I understand the whole spectrum of what's going on. And I understand that there's going to be people that's for it and people that's against it, right? And my thing is that I'm not going to argue with anybody or disagree with them because they feel one way or another. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I think that's where the problem comes in.
Oh, and absolutely. And realize, let me say this. Yeah. Let me just say this really quick because I want to hear Queen and her thoughts, and I'm going to bring a couple more people in, and I got a super chat as well. I got to get on here, but I just wanted to say that no, I appreciate you coming in with this because these are the kind of conversations that need to be had. You feel me? I love this kind of panel. I love these kind of conversations because we are talking about it. You see what I'm saying? And we're bringing in these opposing views and thoughts and all that. That's why I wanted to open up the conversation. So I'm giddy as hell right now because I love these kind of conversations.
Pascal, I love the way that you hold yourself back. I just want to put that in there, but no.
I try. You know what I'm saying?
I be watching you, bro. I be watching you. Look, I might not comment all the time or get on the panels, man, but I watch you religiously, bro. And I got to tell you something. I respect you and love you so much, bro, just for bringing out the information. For real.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you so much. Real quick before I throw it over to Queen, because I know she hasn't really gotten a chance to really say much lately. We got Desi 112 KW. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says when you get a transplant, they put you on medicines that make you immunocompromised. That's why they want you to get all your pokes before you get the transplant. Absolutely, 110%. And I feel like if you are going to be going out for it's almost like the American Idol of heart transplants, right?
Yes.
There can only be one because it's not every day that you get a heart that's healthy, ready, and ready for a person's body, another person's body. You got to stay with the competition. You got to stay up to date. You got to make sure you got what you need on that list.
Can I say one last thing, Pascal?
Smallest thing that can knock you down. Realize, go ahead.
Just one last thing. I will say this. There is no reason to put a good heart in a bad body. That's all I got to say.
Facts. Melissa, we got Queen. Hello, Queen. But we also have Melissa jumping on here. Hello. But Queen, what are your thoughts on all this so far?
Well, I have a pretty good example. This is, aside from COVID, but my sister has been kind of looking for a job, just a little part-time something to do because we've all been in the house for, a couple of years here. Right. And she just recently had a job interview that was really good job. She really wanted it, all that kind of stuff. But they drug tested, which I live in Washington State. Marijuana is literally the most legal it can be here. It's everywhere. So she really wanted the job and the lady really wanted it. And they sat down and they talked about it. She wasn't, she was like, well, I use marijuana medically because she doesn't smoke it all day. She uses it for sleep and for pain and, everything else that, the list goes on. People use marijuana for all sorts of different things, but it's kind of the same thing. She didn't want to, the lady said that too. She goes, I don't, for years, my sister's been, trying many different things. The doctor had her, like a guinea pig, just, trying all these different medications, this didn't work, that didn't work, horrible side effects. And she started trying CBD, and then she uses a little bit of THC. And, the lady was like, well, no, I don't want to, I don't want you to have to stop taking stuff that helps you, during your daily life or sleeping or these important things just for a job. So, I get it. If people don't want to get poked, and they want to be a doctor, it's like, well, you got to choose. Do you want to go to school and be a doctor? Do you want this job? Do you want to be able to go get your hair done, your nail, whatever the case is? Yes, my body, my choice. Well, my choice was that I didn't want my 75-year-old mother to die. My dad also, he had cancer, passed away, 8-9 years ago. Had he been in this situation and been in the hospital, he would have been gone if he hadn't got vaccinated. So it's just, the fact that it's so political, it's just, that's the part that's so hard, is that we've, so many other things have just gotten into this whole mix, and it's just a mess. It is a mess. Every damn day you wake up and it's like, man, like Realize was saying, it is confusing. It's confusing. It's just, and you say,
Still here.
you don't, yeah, you want to do it for this reason, but then you don't for this reason, and it's like, wow, man,
Right.
I don't know.
Well, for me, sister, I will say this. Okay. Personally, right? I know people who have gotten the disease and beat it on their own, right? So why, therefore, should they have to get the pinch, poke, owe me a Coke? Why? I already beat it on my own, right? My body is strong enough to beat this thing. So why? And then they tell you, right? They tell you, go ahead and get the pinch, right? Or get the poke. And then they tell you that it may not stop you from getting it. What is, like, I'm just coming with, my own ideas. I'm not,
I am
like, what's the point?
Poked.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I get poked, right? And then I could still catch it when I know that maybe a family member or a friend who has got it, right? And they just sat back, they were sick, they didn't feel good and all that, but they beat it on their own.
That's what happened to me,
what's the point of all of this? Like, it's almost like, if you ask me, it's not about being sick. It's not even about the sickness. It's not about the pinch or the poke. It's all about control. I feel like, just like the cops, right? When you go out in the streets, they want to control. They'll tell you, move back 2 feet. Well, what is 2 feet? It's almost like, it's just like they want to control us. I told you to do it, so you got to do it. You know what I mean?
They scare you into it. They scare you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, the thing for me is that I'm not afraid. I know that
that's good.
Being born is dying, and dying is birth. They taught us everything in reverse. So I'm not afraid to be born, if that makes any sense.
I see what you're saying.
Well, can I say something?
Sure. So I got to throw it over to Melissa. She's been patiently waiting.
Well, I've been seeing the chat, and they were bringing up. I think they were bringing up good points, like having people been vaccinated for other things, for other diseases like measles.
Absolutely.
You have to be vaccinated to go to school when you're a little kid.
You got to have all those things. Measles.
Yeah.
Hell, they vaccinated my son without even telling me. They just did it at the damn school. You know how pissed off I was?
Exactly.
You know how pissed off I was? These people literally vaccinated my fucking son without even saying anything to me.
It's crazy, man.
So yes, I have a feeling about it. I have a yes.
That's messed up. That's messed up. That's messed up.
Right?
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me until after they were already done. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I do have Melissa on here with me. Hello, Melissa.
Hey,
Pascal. Took me a couple times before I decided to call in, but nobody has discussed the effects of the medical field, and it's all about my rights. But if you're not paying out of pocket for stuff, what rights are you really having, or that's not being met when you're not paying for the services that you're going to need when you get sick? And I'm not even speaking for COVID. I'm speaking about everything.
Just helping you.
This is bigger than COVID.
Welcome to the business of healthcare, right?
I work in healthcare.
Exactly.
I've been in healthcare my entire life. I have watched a lot of terrible things. I've watched a lot of things that could have been prevented. And it's a lot of selfishness. I don't care about me getting it per se, but I care about giving it to an elderly person who cannot get a vaccine. For whatever reason, they can't take it. So where are their rights in their body if you're walking around as a vector? And we already know that when you don't have a vaccine, that the amount of virus and stuff can be a lot higher, and you can spread it a lot easier. These vaccines aren't a cure. They're not a preventative. It's just giving your body the ability to better defend itself.
Sister, you better talk.
I can't even, I don't even go in chats. I have pulled myself off of all social media because I just can't deal with the fact that everybody will believe a Facebook post instead of going to a reputable site where they can get information, but they'll feed off of something so goofy as there's fetal cells in a vaccine, or they're microchipping me. Well, let me tell you something about, please microchip me, because I don't want to get in, God forbid, one of those awful situations that we're seeing everywhere where people are killing their loved ones left and right and can't find the body. Chip me, let my family find my body and put me to rest.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I would disagree, because at the same time, I don't want you following me. I don't want you to know where the heck I'm at all the time, right? I don't want you. I'm just saying, look, this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, our government pries into our lives, right? They pry into our business at every freaking turn, right? So I feel like this is just another way for them to be able to say, we're going to do whatever we want, and if you don't comply, then you're not a part of civilization. Ain't that crazy? Like, y'all don't find nothing wrong with this? This is crazy to me. There's no way in the hell that someone can come and tell you you have to do something, and if you don't do it, you can't make no money, you can't go out, you can't do nothing. That's crazy to me.
All right,
I agree.
Can I get a word? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Well, like, the thing is, I understand what Realize is saying. Like, I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do. You're an adult. You can make your own decision. But on the other hand, this is a public health crisis. This is something that affects everybody, and it's like what you do is it is going to have consequences, whether you want it to or not. And like this, and I'm not saying like oh, if you're not vaccinated you're like a horrible person or something. I just think when it comes to something like this is an unprecedented time. I just think that I just don't want us to be selfish. I want us to think of the collective. I want us to think
But Tyler, let me say this. We live in very selfish times. We've been in very selfish times for a while now. So yes, more than ever, there's been this energy that's been put out here in the ether, or whatever you want to call it. This energy this vibration that's been out for a while now, of this whole selfish me type of world. So until that actually happens, I think we're gonna still have people that are not thinking about the collective. They're thinking about themselves and themselves only.
Pascal, that's so wrong. That's wrong, bro.
Here, it's not wrong. Think about it.
No.
Think about it. We live in a world where if you want to, really find that thing. Like I'm going to say, never underestimate the power of denial. If you really, really, really want to have some sort of narrative, like keep with a narrative that's in your mind, right? You can go to all you have to do is type in Google and find that thing that echoes your very thought. So then it emboldens you to keep thinking the way you want to think, instead of actually you leaning on the actual facts. So that's why you see all these people running around screaming, losing their damn minds on planes and stuff like that, saying, I don't have to do this, this, and this, all that stuff.
Well, Pascal, I don't believe the way those people believe. I got to tell you that, because I understand where you're coming from, right? I do. Yeah. I swear I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, I have not been sick within the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like at all. You know what I mean? So why would I risk my life and my health going to get something that I don't know anything about, bro? And I've watched people get hurt off of it. So like, it's not like I'm saying don't do it. I'm saying it's your choice, man. It's literally, look, I don't care what anyone really feels about what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it, period, point blank, yo. It's flat out. If you want to get it and that's your choice, that's your choice. If you don't want to get it, that's your choice. Why do we fight about things when it's your, listen, God always gave us a choice. God always gave us a choice. If you make the wrong choice, then you make the wrong choice, right? That's on you. But you have the choice.
Yeah, but it's your choice until you want to go to that football game or whatever the case is. It's not
right. I don't need to go to a football game. I can watch it on TV.
I ain't talking about just the football game. I'm talking about whatever you want to do. What the grocery store, whatever the case is.
I'm a loner. I stay at home. You know, I go to work, I go home.
So do
you know
I.
what I'm saying? So for me, right? For me personally, this is all I'm saying. It's just real personal for me because I've been through it, right? I've watched my brother, I've watched my mom, I watched my dad get it, right? And I've watched them beat it, right? And I haven't been sick. So I'm like, yo, and if I can beat this, if my family, if my friends can beat it, if the doctors are telling people, you might not want to do this, then to me personally, I have to take that into consideration. It's not like I'm just saying that's the end all be all, right? I'm saying personally, right? It's just your choice. And why is it such a big deal? Why do we fight each other? Why do we have these debates on whether we should get it or not? It shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, it shouldn't be a problem. Because let me say this. Now they tell you if you get it, you can't get it. No, you know, you get the jab. You know, you good, right? So why would you be upset or afraid of a person that didn't get it, but you got it? So you should be good, right? The reason why, hold on. The reason why you feel afraid is because even if you get it, even if you get that jab, you can still get that disease. So why in the hell would I go and take myself into a building and let someone jab me in my arm? Now, I'm not speaking against no one. I'm not talking down on no one. But why would I go into a building and let someone stick a needle in my arm and I don't know what the hell they're putting in my body? And then on top of that, it might not stop what you're putting it in my body for. So what's the point when I know people who have beat it on their own? Why would I get the jab when I know for a fact that I could still get it?
Like you don't know for a fact that you're going to live.
Wait, sis. It goes back to what I said before. It's like this. If I get it and I die, look, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of death, right? If it happens, it happens. Because look, I'm gonna tell you something. What if being born is dying, and what if dying is birthed?
No, I see what you're saying.
I don't look at everything like everyone else does. I step outside my box. I step outside my shell, and I look at everything for what it is. So I understand why people would, and I understand why people wouldn't. For me, I'm not going to do it because I don't trust no foreign thing coming in my body
and I get
that I don't know about.
And you just said your body, your choice, right? But here's the thing. And let me just say my piece. Okay. That's the problem. People are busy trying to let everybody else know their opinion. If it's my body, my choice, then you should let me make my choice for myself and not blast it in my face on either side of the fence then, right? So if like realize, I hear you 110% where you stand, right? But there's a lot of people, and I'm just saying on this side of the fence, like on your perspective, right? There's a lot of people in your perspective that will go into people's face to let them know how they feel. And it's kind of like, well, wait a second. If you're saying your body, your choice, it should be your body, your choice, then let people make their decisions for themselves. Let them do the research. Let them look at the things. And this is what, like, at least on my platform, on this show, this is what I do. I say, hey, you should have the choice. That's what I think, right? I do lean towards more of a, hey, if all signs are looking at you getting up to date on this thing, then maybe you should. But if there's other things that is slowing you down from doing it, hey, that is your choice. But there are people out here that will stop at nothing to get their point across and say how unjust and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. But if it is your body, your choice, then it should be about the individual making the decision for
facts.
Personally. Now, I haven't heard really much from Queen, and I want to pull up UPSer living the dream. She's here with us. Hello, UPSer.
Hey.
Hello. Ooh, you're coming in.
Hey,
hot.
how are you all?
We are good. Just, having some combos, having a good one. But I wanted to throw you on here really quick. I'm going to be wrapping up here shortly, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. Oh, no, we just lost her.
Oh, man.
We just lost her. A whole bunch of people just disappeared.
Dang, man, I wanted to hear what she had to say.
Oh, yeah. Pascal, come on. I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know what it is, Pascal? You know what it is? Shit getting thick. People starting to talk. You know what's up. Hey, don't act like you don't know what's up, brother.
Story of my life. But that's the whole purpose of this show. Hopefully she'll hop back. Oh, she's back on again. Let's try you.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for even letting me up, bro. I really appreciate it. Hey, Queen, how you doing, goddess?
Hey, you. So what are your thoughts on this really quick?
Hey.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. I believe it's your body, your choice. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and I've not had the vaccination myself, but I don't think there's enough studies out just yet for me to decide to make that choice to get it.
Now, can I ask you something? Can I call you Katie? Is it okay if I use Katie?
I don't know why I've got so much. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yes,
in your job, right? Because I remember you were on the show a while back, and you were actually in the middle of working. Have they implemented any type of mandate for you guys at all? I lost her again. Dang.
I think she might have a bad connection or something.
I think it's a bad connection because there was like a crazy delay. It looks like.
Yeah, man. It's this conversation is real. We have to have this conversation, yo. Because,
absolutely.
Because of everything that's in history that's happened to us, all the things
that's what I was gonna say about history. One thing is that that's one of the things is that we don't have history of this to go by. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, we do. No, we do. I disagree with you on that, sis. And here's
I'm talking about just about COVID. Other things like polio.
My dog is all on me, y'all. This look, I got a puppy and his little ass is all over me. Zeke, go lay down. Okay. I got an old man, I got a young man. The old man is blind and the young man be leading them too.
Just so you know, Kelly B just said no, they don't have to be up to date. And that's interesting. I mean, some companies are very much on that and saying there's a mandate, you got to do this, that, and the third. And some other businesses.
Hey, Pascal, do you know where the vid came from? Look, I'm a dog breeder, right? Ooh, so I can tell you exactly where it came from, right?
We cannot talk about that. I'm sorry, but we are not going down that route.
All right, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But
All
we,
I got
right,
one
all right.
thing to say about that, which I'm not going to get into it, but if you want to read about it, I got this book. It's called What Really Happened in Wuhan. That's all I'm going to say.
okay.
Amazon. Yeah.
That's where we're gonna
That's it.
stop. We're unfortunately gonna have to stop right there.
Hey,
That's perfect.
the corona is like the corona is like it's like death to dogs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Gotcha.
Corona is like death to dogs. That's all I gotta say. But
Gotcha.
you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. We're gonna stop right there. Unfortunately, I gotta wrap the show. But
Cool.
hey, Realize, thank you so much for being on. Queen, thank you so much for being on. And
Love you, Pascal. Much honors, bro.
Yeah.
Much honors, man. Much
And
honors.
same to you, my brother. Thank you so much for being on.
Love you all.
I'll be seeing you guys soon. Much love.
Peace and prosperity. Salute to all.
Salute. All right, guys. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm sorry, UPSer. I gotta wrap up the show, unfortunately. But and thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And hopefully we'll have another conversation like this again in the near future. But you know, I'm very walking on eggshells. It's like walking on thin ice when it comes to the conversation about all this, right? And I've been very, very cautious about it. I don't have conversations like this on the show or on this platform very often or at all, right? So this is the first time in a very, very long time, but it's because of I've been in trouble before talking about any of this stuff. But I am glad that we were able to hop on and chop it up and talk about all this, because I think that there's a lot that we can gather and walk away from with this. And yes, there's a lot of people out here that have their own personal opinions about this, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. There's a lot of people that have their own theories as well. Rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Zozo Bob, it most definitely is, without a shadow of a doubt, a hot button. Where is that? A hot button issue for sure. A lot of people feel some type of way about this stuff. But like I said, this is the important stuff that we need to be having. These kind of conversations. We need to be having these discussions and having these conversations more often. But the thing is that I think there's a reason why, aside from fear of getting in trouble on here and all that stuff, there's a reason why I don't bring it up as often, because you turn on the TV and that's all you bloody see all day long, right? All you hear is about, oh, this, that, and the third, and how this person ain't doing this and how this person is doing that. And it gets super polarizing. And sometimes you just need a break, a way to walk away from that BS, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I don't talk about it very often on this show. When it came to this main topic down below about this man, about DJ Ferguson being knocked off the donor list, I was like, no, this is a good conversation. This is a good piece that hopefully will span into a bigger conversation, a bigger dialogue, right? And this is what we need, right? We need that, is to have that dialogue. But I'd rather it be about surrounding a topic rather than it just being about the vax, right? To poke or not to poke, right? But I'm glad that the conversation did evolve into something much deeper than what it was, right? Than what the original conversation was all about. Real quick, again, UPS are living in the dream. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. No, you don't have to get it from UPS. But like I said before, some places, some businesses don't care. Some businesses do care. And it looks like UPS doesn't push that onto their employees, right? And I do think, in my personal opinion, I really do think that that's the right approach. I don't think it should be a thing where you're putting a gun to somebody's head. I do agree with Realize when he says it should be a personal choice. It's your body, your choice, right? I mean, until they start passing, anti-abortion laws outside of Texas. But that's a whole other Charles Dickens story in itself. But I do think it is very, very important that we all make the decisions for ourselves and for the livelihood of our family and our futures. And if you do feel like that works for you, then get it. If you don't think that it doesn't work for you, hey, let me tell you this. It's all good, baby. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Just be smart. Don't be stupid. Don't run around and do all this crazy stuff and be all in people's faces and stuff like that. Spitting into people's faces and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can to be safe. And you're just going to have to be like that for the rest of your damn life. And that's fine. That's okay. Just mask up, wash your hands, and keep your distance. That's all you got to do. Damn. But we do have all these people out here doing crazy stuff, man. Acting a damn fool. Just to make sure everyone knows, this is how I feel. Bro, we get it. We get it. But you don't need to be all up in my face with the flex and the phlegm and the spittle coming into my face and into my nostrils and then getting me sick. Damn. Then why did I get the poke for? You know what I'm saying? So, that's all I say. Everybody be safe out there. And yeah, Grand Bam, they getting the boosie. Grand Bam getting the boosie. Yo, man, get that boosie if you want to. I'm not here to judge. All I say is do the research. Look it up. Have a come to Jesus moment with yourself, or if you have to have that conversation with your family, then do so. But I'll tell you this. In regards to the title down below, and if you have an opportunity to save your own bloody mother-loving life so that you can be here long enough to walk your daughter down the aisle when she gets married, even just having that thought in your mind should tell you to go get the poke. If it means it keeps you on the list to get a heart so you can do that. So you can have a life of longevity with your beautiful wife and your beautiful children. That's what I think. Because they will cut you off for the littlest things. Because there's somebody else right behind you waiting for it, praying for it. So just do what you need to do so you can live. That's what I think. Anyway, guys, like I said, I was heavily vexed with it. Heavily vexed. But hey, without having that panel discussion, I don't know. I probably would have still been heavily vexed. But I'm not anymore. If you have the choice to live the rest of your life healthy and happy and with a new heart, and all you got to do is good little like there, right there, boop, done, and you get a new heart, bruh, sign me up, G. Where we at? Where we going? We going to CVS? We going to Walgreens? Where we going, bruh? Let me get this poke real quick. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. All right? Anyway, I appreciate all you guys. You guys are amazing. Please do not forget to hit that like button before you head off. Please crush it, destroy it, all that stuff. And I mean, I'm going to say the same damn thing. Crush it, destroy the subscribe button too. Okay, and like I said, hit it so hard it shakes the very foundation of your private domicile. Please, and thank you. And welcome to the Pascal Show. Welcome to the circus. Anyway, I appreciate all y'all. You guys have a wonderful, blessed, and positive rest of your day and weekend. Let's not forget about that because it is Friday. It's the weekend. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Have a cocktail for me and have a cocktail for life. Okay? It doesn't have to be 2 cocktails. Hold on. I'm not trying to trigger nobody. If it could be just one drink, you could just say, hey, to the show and to life at the same damn time. Okay? Or you could cheers with the same thing. Just 5 minutes later, just make sure it's the same cocktail. I want you to arrive home alive. Okay? But anyway, crush that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Stay positive out there, guys. I love y'all. Have a safe weekend. See you soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.